Good morning, yogis. It is time for our yin yoga, our empower class. We're gonna jump right in. I've been having some problems with my music, so we're just gonna jump right in and get started. Come into your easy seat. Actually, no, we're gonna start in child's pose today. Bring your big toes to touch, knees come out wide to the edges of your mat, and then start to walk your fingertips forward, letting your chest sink between your thighs, letting your forehead rest down on the mat, starting to connect to your breath. Inhales and exhales through the nose. Start to really lengthen out the spine, lengthening from the tailbone through the crown of the head. Focus on the breath. Natural breath. And we'll slowly start to deepen the breath. Starting to breathe deep down into the belly, filling the lungs, feeling the body expand. And then exhale as you feel it release. Let the body release. Smooth, full body breaths. From here, start to walk your fingertips to the left to start off with. Really opening up through the right side body. Sink your left side body into your thigh. Focus on your breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Bring your hands back through center and then come all the way to the right. Really feel that opening through the left side body, sinking your torso towards your right thigh. Come back through center. We're going to tent our fingers. Tenting your fingers up and really letting your forehead and your chest sink down. So we're really starting to gently activate the shoulders and the chest. Focus on your breath. Letting your chest sink a little more as you breathe into the pose. From here, take a 2-word check-in. How are you doing this morning? Or this afternoon or this evening, whatever time of day it is for you. 2-word check-in. Just acknowledging where you're at. Increasing your emotional awareness, your physical awareness. Really good. Bring your hands, your palms down to the mat. Slowly, gently start to press yourself up into your tabletop position. Let's do a few cat-cows here. Inhale as you arch the spine, lift the gaze. Exhale as you round the spine, letting the head hang heavy. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. From here, walk your hands forward. Sink your chest down to the floor. And then I invite you to bring your hands into prayer, letting your head rest down on the mat. And with each exhale, sinking your chest closer and closer to the mat. So in yin yoga, we are activating the body and holding the pose. So we're really getting into the deep connective tissue. So if you really feel sensation in your shoulders and your chest in this posture, that's really, really good. That's really, really good. So you don't want to ever feel pain, but you do want to feel sensation. Find that edge and hold that edge. And I know that it can feel uncomfortable sometimes to hold the edge, but that's what we do in this practice. So it's a more gentle practice. It's not as much of a physical practice, but there's still a lot of benefits and you still want to feel sensation. It's not completely letting go like our restorative practice. Letting your chest sink down toward the mat. Bring your hands back down onto the mat, and we're going to sink all the way forward, coming all the way down onto our stomach. Now you're going to extend your right arm out, and then you're going to press your left hand into the mat, and you're going to roll open, and you're really going to feel that in the right shoulder. You can rest your head down on the mat. You use your leg for stability. Your shoulders really pressing into the mat. We're really getting deep into the shoulders this morning. Find your breath. We're going to activate the tension that's been created through the week. Oh, here it comes. Hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. Okay, I see you. I see you. Oh dear. Okay. Oh, you're okay. Oh, goodness. Goodness. You okay? All right, come back through center. Both arms come out like airplane wings. And then roll to the other side, bringing that foot down behind your leg and rolling your shoulder open, really feeling that in the left shoulder. Find your breath. Inhales and exhales through the nose, being aware of the rhythmic breath. You can put your head down on the mat. See if you can really roll open the hips. Roll back through center. So good. Let's gently press up into upward facing dog. Shoelace side of your feet press into the mat. And then gently, you can sink back for a moment, stretching out that lower back, and then press yourself up. And we're going to come onto our knees. From our knees, we're going to step our right leg forward, coming into our low lunge. So you want to sink your hips forward. You can walk your toes forward. You're really getting into your hips. So your hands can be on your knee, your hips, or behind your back. Focus on your breath. You can take a moment and roll out your shoulders here. Working the upper body and the lower body. Inhales and exhales through the nose. Inhales and exhales through the nose. Bring your hands down onto the mat, and we're going to shift back, straightening out your front leg and really sinking your right hip back toward the wall behind you. You can lengthen out your spine and lower your head down towards your knee, or you can stay lifted, whatever feels good for you. You're looking for sensation in the body. And start to notice how the sensation affects the way that you feel. Tapping into the emotional level of the body. Knowing that every layer is connected. So emotions are connected to our body. So starting to get curious what you feel in this pose. Often we get distracted by thinking about emotions rather than feeling emotions. All right, let's shift forward. Bring your hands down and switch out your legs. Step that left foot forward, coming into your low lunge. So in your low lunge, you don't want your knee in front of your ankle. You want it to be straight. And if you can stay down, you can lift up, you can bring your hands behind your back and continue to open up through your chest. But you want to be stable because we will be here for a minute to two. Focusing on the breath. Inhales and exhales through the nose. Bring your hands down to the mat if they're not already. Then you're going to straighten out that front leg, flex your toes towards your face, and then lower down. So you can either bring your forehead to your knee, or you can just lengthen forward from your hips, and you can have your gaze at your toes or straight down. Getting deep into the connective tissue. These are great stretches for every day. Really getting into the hamstrings, the calves, maybe the hips as well. All right, shift forward and come. Bring that foot back. Release really gently. Come into your easy seat. Ground down into your sitting bones. Bring your hands behind your back, and I want your palms to face towards your back. And then press your palms into the mat, really opening up through your chest. And then I invite you to bring your gaze up toward the ceiling, and then gently open up your chin. Opening up through your chest, just a little more. Feel the front side of the body. Inhale and exhale. Breathe into the front side of the body. You can let your head hang back if that feels good to you. Focus on your breath. Press yourself back up. So good. You can roll out your shoulders again. Feeling that release. And then we're going to come into our butterfly pose. So soles of the feet come together, knees come out wide. If your knees are up here, you can place your elbows on the inside of your knees and then use those to open little by little, little more. And you want to lean forward. So lengthen through your spine. So even if you're like this, lengthen through the spine and lean forward. And really feel that in the inner hip flexors. If you're like a little bit more open, ground down into your sitting bones, lean forward. Option to reach your fingertips forward if that feels good for you. Really focus on your breath. Find your breath. Inhales and exhales through the nose. Slowly start to roll up. Release your legs out long in front of you. Feel that release. We're going to inhale as we lengthen. Exhale as we fold forward. Lengthening your chest forward. You can close down your eyes. Focusing on your breath. Inhales and exhales through the nose.
I roll the dice and I hold my breath. I'll give you all that I have left. So hold me now before my luck runs out. I think you're close, but I have my doubts. I keep looking for.
Tap into the mind. Where does the mind go? Noticing how the body lets go and releases over time.
Lost a place, my bet you see. There's so much more like kings and queens. Well, you
Slowly roll up. Open your legs out wide. Lengthen through your spine. And then shift yourself forward. You can flex your toes. Again, finding your edge. So maybe your edge is right here. Maybe you can open your legs up a little bit more. Maybe your edge is really leaning forward. Maybe you can come all the way down to the floor. Finding your edge and staying. Finding stillness. Embracing stillness. Focus on the breath. Inhales and exhales through the nose. Bring a twist into this. So bring your hand forward, left hand forward, bring your right hand back. See if you can just gently open up the shoulder. Bring your gaze over your right shoulder. Maybe you need to heel toe your feet in slightly. You can bend into that elbow. Switch it out. Right hand comes down, left hand comes behind, gazes out over your left shoulder. Always being curious of your own body. How does your body feel as you're in each posture? So it's not so much about, let's heel toe our feet back together. It's not so much about doing it right. It's more about come to lie on your back. It's more about what feels right for your body. Come all the way down. Bring that right leg up around your rib cage into your armpit. Give it a really good squeeze. Take an inhale. And exhale, let's guide that knee across the body. Stacking the hips, teeing out the arms. Gazes out over your right fingertips. See if you can keep your shoulders down on the mat. Focus on your breath. So yoga is really a practice of discovery of you, of how does it feel to get into this pose? How does it feel to make this adjustment? How does it feel to embrace stillness? What happens in my mind when I am here? What happens in my mind when I change the position of my body and now I'm here? What's the connection between my mind and my body? Just really having that internal inquiry, being curious about your own inner workings. This is a time for you to discover you. All day long, we worry about others. We have responsibilities. This time on your mat is for you and your connection with your body and your connection with your heart and your connection with your mind. And that's why I say that we fill our cup because we give ourselves that attention. And as we fill up our own cup, we have the ability to go out into the world and share ourselves, what we've filled our cup with. That's what we have to give others. Let's bring that foot back through center, release it out long. Squeeze your left leg in, take an inhale. And then as you exhale, guide it across your body, stacking your hips, teeing out your arms, supine twist. So if I cue you into a posture and it just doesn't feel right for you, that's perfectly okay. That's what you were meant to discover in that moment. That was what the posture was for. So each class coming to release, am I doing this right? And coming to a place of, how does this feel for me? There's so much wisdom in your body. And so often we don't create the space to tap into that wisdom. So that's what we do on our mat as well. We come to discover the wisdom that the body has to offer us. And that wisdom can be, I'm thirsty. That wisdom can be, I need to use the restroom. That wisdom can be, stillness makes me a little bit crazy. No matter what, it's that internal inquiry, that self-discovery. Let's bring our knee back through center. Squaring out the hips, releasing your legs out long. Arms come down by your side, palms facing up. Close down your eyes. Start to focus on your breath. Inhales and exhales through the nose. Really allowing your body to sink into the mat. It's important when you're on a journey toward a difficult destination that requires strength, courage, and creativity to give yourself time to take in the distance you've crossed, to breathe deep breaths and recognize your growth. You may not be where you want to go just yet, but still you've come so far. And that's something to be proud of. It's something to celebrate. It's something to remember. Taking a moment to acknowledge your growth. Whether that growth is emotional awareness, whether that growth is change or strengthened communication, Whether that growth is deepening your self-love or your connection to your higher self, to the divine, creating a better relationship with your spouse, drinking more water, whatever your growth is, take a moment here and acknowledge yourself for being on the journey, just for being on the journey, for having the awareness of, I want to do this. This is something that calls to me. I want to have better relationships. I want to take care of my body. I want to have X amount of dollars in the bank. Whatever it is for you, just acknowledge that you have that desire and that you're aware of that desire. And think about how far you've come and what you've learned along the way. That is the point. Just as we take that inquiry and are curious on our mats, that is the journey. That's the journey through the body. That's the journey into our body awareness. That's the journey into our emotional awareness. It's the journey in the external world as well. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope that you enjoyed class. That felt really good in my body, so I hope it did for you too. Yeah, I have some memberships. The memberships, I think I'll have them live the week after next. I'm announcing a teacher training program that I'm starting January of 2022, January 2nd. So 2022, January 2nd, that is my intended start date. I'm working with Yoga Alliance to figure that out, but just to keep you updated, I love having you all here, a part of the community. I am so, so, so grateful for each of you. The light in me sees, honors, reflects, and encourages the light in each of you. Namaste. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful Friday.